But I want to give you an example of clarity as charity. So there was a dubia. A dubia is like a doubt, right? So they write it in. These bishops, they'll write in and they'll say, listen, we want clarification. There's a big issue here. We're needing the Vatican. We need the Holy See of Peter, the prime see, to give us an answer. This dates back to the earliest days in the church. Ignatius of Antioch in 110 AD referred to the prime see of Peter in Rome. Eusebius talks about it. You're going back to the 1st and 2nd century, already recognizing the primacy of the see where Peter is. And he died in Rome. I was just there. I saw his bones, so I can tell you all about it. But nonetheless, Clement of Rome, Clement was the third successor of Peter in Rome? Go Google his writings, read his writings. Don't take my word for it. Go read his writings. Somehow, some way, the third successor of Peter in Rome, Clement, felt he had the power, the ability to express his authority over the Corinthians. Let that sink in for a second. First century. So this is an ancient practice within the body of Christ, is asking the see of Peter for clarity. So they did. They're like, hey, listen, transsexual people, homosexual people, let's have some clarity here. And as I reported in the news break, this is a big story. A lot of people are talking about it, contradicting canon law and a 2015 Vatican statement. Pope Francis and Cardinal Fernandez's dubia text states trans people can be godparents at baptism, but godparents must help people lead a Christian life in keeping with the baptism to fulfill faithfully obligations inherent in it. I want to say something to you quickly. Let's do the smell test here. Does this pass the smell test? Can it be that a transsexual person be a godparent? Wouldn't scandal be brought in by default? The fact that someone's standing there pretending to be something they are not, perverting their image and likeness that God has stamped into their very creation? That won't cause scandal? Of course it will. Of course it will. So scandal is inherent to the very situation itself. And yet this is so vague and so ambiguity there built in that they're going to do it anyway. They're just going to do it. But scandal will be the result of this. Now, take this in comparison. Right now, if you were trying to adopt a child and you were in the process, hadn't gone through all the way, and you wanted to have that child be baptized, your parish priest would not baptize that child until the adoption is finalized. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. Why? Because the risk that child might not be fully raised in the Catholic faith is real. You got to wait until you can basically hedge that bet and say, okay, adoption is finalized. We have all legal custody. Now we intend to raise the kid Catholic. So can we now baptize? Yeah, now you can baptize. But somehow, some way, this document is paving the way. This response from the DDF is paving the way for homosexuals who have obtained a child somehow through either adoption or surrogacy, which is immoral, can have the child baptized under certain circumstances. Is the child truly going to be baptized or raised in a Catholic family? No. Scandal is built in and by default, and yet ambiguity seems to reign. Did you like that video? It's okay. You can admit it. It's perfectly fine. Hey, we cover the big stories of our day, from inside the church to outside the church to all points in between, and we do it from a Catholic perspective. It's called A Catholic Take. It's a radio program Monday through Friday. We live stream it right here on this channel, by the way, so make sure to subscribe, like, and share. We would be very grateful to you. And don't forget, you're going to want to watch this video right here because you don't want to miss anything.